Hello and welcome to the Paul O'Connor podcast, where we'll be talking about the motor trade, entrepreneurship, business and beyond. We are live.
Hello,
okay, listeners of our podcast that we haven't done for the last month or so. This is what we've done for the last couple of quarters. It's our Q3 business summary. So we will have guests on again. I've been struggling to get guests on. I wanted to get a few good guests and a few of them said no to me.
I was just going to mention the reason we haven't had them is because no one likes you.
Yeah, no, that is actually the main reason. I had one or two lined up, but between the jigs and reels it hasn't happened, and I've been very busy with other things, and we're starting to do the YouTube videos, which are also fun to do and are doing great. But I do still want to continue doing the podcast, but anyway, more about that later. But basically, as we've done before for the business or the quarter summaries, we just talk about the quarter we had the last couple of months. We talk about them, any kind of trends we noticed, how the sales were, talk you through some figures, and we take from there. So I suppose some headline figures from Q3. I'll just kind of go through them there now. We sold 177 cars, that's including trade cars now, which was up 9.9% on Q2, which is great. Finance commission was also up 50%, so it was 50% higher in Q3 than it was in Q2, which is obviously great again. Our profit overall was down a little bit on Q2 compared to Q3. Now this is just on car sales as well. It's nothing to do with the workshop, so we're just kind of running on car sales. The reason being on profit being down, which I will discuss in a few minutes. And profit per unit gone down a little bit as well. Turnover was up about $500,000 on the Q2, which represents 17% increase. These are just kind of some headline figures. So I suppose to give a bit more clarity into the figures, because there's a kind of a reason being, let's say the turnover was up a little bit and also the profit maybe was a little bit down, and I'll just go through some of the reasons for that there now. August, I sold my GTR and I'll be honest, I lost about 20 grand on it from what I paid for it. Actually, a little bit more with what I spent modifying it, but I knew this was going to happen. You don't get money back from kind of modifying, and the market actually had dropped a little bit. So I needed to move it on. So I sold that, and I took in a trade-in of also a kind of a expensive car, basically. So between obviously selling out the two of them, between the GTR and the trade-in, which is an M4, that was nearly 200 grand off. So that would help to obviously bump the turnover, but obviously down the profit. And we had a loan card that I had here for years, but all the prep costs to it. These are all just on paper losses, right? So it doesn't, sometimes we have loan cars here and we have to obviously maintain them. But we give them out to customers and things like that. We have to maintain them and everything like that. But those things get charged to the car. So if you keep them for too long, with all the prep costs and because of the car devaluing, and you shouldn't really be doing it this way. But I suppose you end up losing money then when you eventually do sell them. So I lost like 10 grand on the loan car 5 Series we had for nearly 3 years. So, but all it does is kind of it brings down your average profit and it brings down your overall profit. But it's just, look, you need to get money back and you need to move on doing it.
Yeah.
So that's just some reasons behind them. What's your thoughts and
I'm kind of eating my words because I said we were going to have a really bad quarter.
Did you think Q3 would be bad?
I'm pretty certain on the Q2 we really prepared.
We just wanted to get it done. We are prepared. We have stuff. We've stuff. We've TikTok performance reports and everything. It's amazing.
I'm pretty certain I said we wouldn't have a great Q3.
Yeah.
And I suppose apart from there was a month we had I think nearly 35 grand worth of losses. So apart from those losses, we actually done pretty well.
Yeah, it was August. Now August would be a traditionally quiet month anyway.
Yeah.
We normally do. If we hit 45 retail delivered, we're happy. If we hit 50, it's better again. But in August we delivered 33 cars. Which is obviously way below it. Again, we did 30 something last August too. It's a quieter month. Kids are on holidays. People are going off for a week before kids go back to school. People are on summer holidays. It's again nothing new there. So August and December will be our two quietest months, generally speaking. So no surprise there. We had a great September, which was last month. Yeah, that was a cracker of a month, our second best month all year. In terms of units and in terms of profitability, and July was pretty solid as well. It just again August in the middle was was kind of it wasn't great. I suppose on the flip side of it, or on the overall as an observation of what we're selling, we had a lot of Japanese import cars that were delayed from, they should have been here in summer.
We did, yeah.
And they all started landing towards the end of summer, and September more so, and October.
Yeah. So there was a month we had 100 cars.
Yeah,
cars in 1 month, like, so.
Exactly. So I find we were supposed to get a lot of stuff. There was delays in shipping for a variety of reasons, and there was like strikes in the port over in France, and there was a load of different reasons why some cars were delayed coming in. Some cars were 5 months coming in from Japan.
They were,
and some cars. So then a lot of cars landed in September, October. So we had kind of a drought in a way of Japanese imports over the summer, July in particular, and we were buying a lot of stuff on the Irish market. We always buy stuff on the Irish market, but we were particularly buying a lot of stuff then.
Yes. Yeah.
And we were only remarking then it was tough to get stuff, wasn't it?
Excuse me. It was very tough. I think it's even still very tough. I think a lot of garages are buying privately now. Like, there's not a whole lot of garages that I know of that are buying a lot of stock from like supplying dealers. You know, there's always a couple of garages that sell only to the trade.
Yeah. I think it's, for us anyway, like, you know, a very small percentage of the cars we buy are from in the trade, let's say in Ireland. Like, they're just, with our business model, what we kind of do is we kind of see what sells and we buy more of it. But the way the market is as well, you have to be so specific with what you buy. You have to have a certain mileage, it has to be a certain spec. You can't just buy everything ad hoc and just hope it sells. Like, we can't do that. If you want if we were just buying yokes, whatever we got offered in the trade, one, we'd make lower margins because a lot of stuff in the trade in Ireland is wrecked, and two, you wouldn't have the stock to suit people. Our sales would drop 50% if we weren't buying the right cars. I know it sounds obvious, buy the right cars, but like you didn't actually have to do it as much as this years ago. Because I'm doing this years, and you could just buy what you get offered. A silver Qashqai, yeah, that's grand. Yeah, the 151 Clio, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, a diesel 5 Series with 220 kilometers, yeah, it'll sell. It's not really like that anymore. You just kind of like, so therefore, just buying directly private kind of works. And I find a lot of stuff we buy in the trade in Ireland, you buy blind. See, the way buying in the trade works, and obviously a lot of people are familiar with this, is you're just getting photos on WhatsApp. You're agreeing a price. The garage gets that in as a trade in. You don't even get to see it. Your mechanics don't even get to see it, and you've already agreed 20 grand. That's what that garage is giving their customers a trade in, and you just send someone up to collect it. Then you collect it, bring it back to your workshop. It happens a lot of time the car's wrecked, and you've this awkward. Do you say it to the garage you bought it off, or do you kind of? Often you'd need a big margin in the stuff you're buying trade because a lot of it is wrecked, and you didn't get a chance to negotiate with it given all the work that was needed to be done. You just based it on a few WhatsApp photos. So that's the problem with buying cars trade in Ireland. So like the Japanese import stuff is doing well at the moment, but the stuff we're buying now is not going to be as well. The prices are gone higher
in Japan. Yeah. No, prices have definitely rose in Japan. I think
same as last year, wasn't it? Though
I think it's just this time of year. Yeah, and as well, shipping prices typically go up around Christmas time. They do, yeah. So coming up to December, you're looking at higher shipping prices along with higher purchase.
What I used, the stuff we're selling at the moment is the Jap stuff is very profitable at the moment. It's great, like it's the best it's ever been. But it's like I don't know what I mentioned to you the other day. It was like the windfall corporation taxes in Ireland. You know the way they say, like, you can't be reliant on this. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it's great at the moment, but I can already see you can't be expecting this will continue every month. It's grand. We'll have a few good months. The stuff I'm buying now, the stuff landing early next year, it's not going to be as profitable. But that's the way it goes. The yen can fluctuate too. The yen is very good at the moment for buying. It's the best it's been since I started. So this is great. Again, I've said it on a million videos before, make hay when the sun shines. You do that. That can change next year. And you can't give out too much then when for Q1 next year, you're like, the profit has gone down a bit. Yes, yeah, I know. We had flagged this in advance. You know it's going to, because you know the prices you're paying. Like, I'm paying more for stuff now than I was like 9 months ago, even though the cars now will be landing early next year and they're going to be a year older. Like, and for some models, a lot of the German stuff that's in Japan as well, like I'm paying like 30 or 40% more, and sometimes I'm bidding 30 or 40% more than I was 6 or 9 months ago, and I'm still not getting them. Do you know what I mean?
Even though the car is older. Look, I know it's not the turn of a year. I don't think that makes much of a difference. But
no, not hugely, no. But so there's that. So again, from from that point of view, like I said, it's again, it's great at the moment. It can fluctuate, and that's pretty much that. We've a great, obviously, selection stuff at the moment. What's going well for us as well, and I know we sell a lot of German stuff, like some things like the Camrys. Camrys have been great, haven't they?
They're really cool cars.
I love them.
They
I genuinely
yeah.
do, and they're a nice alternative. Like, and the kind of obviously, like, even the workshop likes us buying Camrys because they don't cause much bother. They're reliable. Again, they're reliable. Don't give much bother, but they're also if you get a nice spec one, they're also really nice.
If
cars.
you can get them with the is it G spec or something like with the leather seats and the kind of other extras on it, they just look cool.
Yeah,
and they're really, like, I'd say they're up there with a 5 Series in comfort.
The other day, like, that was a lovely car.
That was a really nice car.
Champagne-y, kind of a little light bronze. It was really nice. So Camrys are going well. I have definitely, in the last couple of months, I've definitely bought more Japanese branding and buying more Toyotas landing. CHRs are a bit slower to sell. We always have loads of them. But like the Aquas, a nice spec Aqua, they sell really well.
And look, I suppose,
and a Fit. I like selling Fits. They're nice little yokes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy one myself.
I would definitely not buy one myself.
No, but like, you see the appeal, like.
Yeah. But I suppose, look, you buy them a little bit cheaper because obviously the supply is massive in Japan. They're built in Japan. Yeah. You get lower import duty when they land here. Everything is just lower on them. Do you know? So.
And the VRT is usually lower on them because they're hybrids as well.
And parts compared to a BMW 5 Series are a lot cheaper on them.
No, it's they're good, to be fair, and then they're like, they tip away sales. So it's hatchback Golfs. Like, I end up buying a lot of Golf estates because they were cheaper in Japan, basically. Just being honest, and they were tipping away, but they're fairly slow sellers, like, aren't they?
It's like a CHR.
Yeah,
you just have them around.
You think, I'll do well on this one, but you end up selling them for $2,000 less than hatchback, and they still take months to sell, and so, like, you know. They're not that, but like, again, they're very practical, but if a little bit boring of a car. So Golf hatchbacks are doing well. We're remarking there recently as well, and we've probably touched on it in other videos. I've mentioned it a lot of times. Like the 17A6 Black Editions or S lines. Are they ever going to drop in price?
They'll never drop in price. They won't. As long as you can find a low mileage one, it's staying at that price.
Honestly,
these cars will never be scrapped.
2017 A6 Black Editions, they're making 25 grand at 26. 27 if you got a really low Black Edition, possibly Quattro, would in an Avant maybe. They've been at that price or very close to it for 4 or 5 years.
But it happens every time we do get one in. You always have one or two in want.
We definitely typically. Some months we've two. Some months we mightn't have. We haven't had any now in a couple of weeks. But
you could have 5 of them.
Yeah, we'd never have 5. We sometimes that time have 2. But like, we'd often remark on, like, what makes a car hold value is obviously it's something that's going to be decent and reliable, but something looking good and something that can't be imported in mass. Like, do you know what I mean? Like say the hybrid X5s, right? The one I bought, right? Remember I had one here. They're dropping away nicely in pricing because they can be imported, especially from the UK, because of the low VRT, and there's a bundle of them over in the UK. They can be imported on demand, let's say, from the UK. An A6 Black Edition, for example, because of the diesel, because they make high enough. Okay, so we actually got cut off there. Technical difficulties, but anyway, we're back on it again. As I was saying, when we get in at a 17 or 18 low mileage A6 Black Edition, of which there is dwindling supply, they sell straight away. And like, as you were saying?
As I was saying when we just got cut off, every time we get one in, let's say we get one in like the week after you get another one in, you're like, okay, the first one sold a bit too quickly. Will we ask another 1,000? And you just, it's not in you, is it?
No,
because you could easily get another.
There's certain cars that, like,
it just feels wrong.
It feels wrong, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know people say, "Oh, you're a greedy car dealer." Kind of, sometimes. We know we sell cars at the market price. In the same vein, estate agents are greedy bastards for selling houses, whatever. But like, there's some cars, it's like, you know, if it sells straight away at 24,950,
it just feels dirty.
You know, if I'm selling, maybe could I ask another 1,000 potentially? But sometimes I'm like, I would feel a little bit embarrassed advertising that car at that price, like, even though it'll probably sell. It's just sometimes it's just a little bit too high, and there's some garages, as we won't mention names, obviously, that we see them
always $3,000 over.
Silly money. Obviously, maybe they get them, or maybe they just give bigger money for trade-ins or straight sale discounts. I don't know. But I just come to a point where I kind of feel, right, that's enough for that car. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. So that's my thoughts on that. Other than the A6s, well, I'm finding I really can't buy at the moment. I've 2 or 3 people crying out for new Model 5 Series.
Can't get them.
I can't get them. I'm literally, so if you're listening to it, lads, I won't mention names, but if I'm supposed to look for it, there's 2 I can think of off the top of my head. They're looking for a 21 or 22 5 Series. If you're listening to this, lads, I'm looking every day, and I haven't been offered any, and I haven't found any decent ones on Dundee even, like diesel or hybrid. And sometimes they were so easy to buy.
They were very easy to buy, yeah.
Where are they all gone?
Someone took them.
They're
all gone.
Yeah, like we have a few of the older ones, 17 or 18.
So if you do have one, call me
selling
on
21 or 22
085.
5 Series, diesel or hybrid. I've one lad looking for diesel and another looking for a hybrid, but he's now would actually buy a diesel as well. So if you're selling one of them, give me a message, and I would love to.
And if you have 10 of them, we will take.
Yeah, I'd actually take a couple of them. But anyway, that's. But what I also found as well, which I've changed taxi. Often especially when you're doing the Jap import stuff, what you see something selling well, and then you're like, oh, I must buy more of them, but there's a 4-month lag, in terms of when they actually arrive. So it's kind of tough to keep up with demand. But slightly newer stuff, like more so, let's say 18, 19, 20 and 21 onwards reg Golfs, for example, rather than the 15 or 16 reg ones. I think when we get in, we've had a few 17s. Now they've all sold, but people are asking then, do you have any 18 or 19s?
A couple of fresher ones,
and
yeah.
the Mark 8 ones, the new model ones.
They look cool as well.
They look really nice, and they've sold really well too. So obviously I'm buying more of them. The benefit of it, I suppose, if you can buy a slightly newer car, there's lower prep costs, lower warranty risk. The reason why we don't buy more of the newer stuff in general is the price of them, and they're out of budget for a lot of people. We have a lovely 22 reg Golf R-Line in stock, and we've had interest in it. It probably will sell, but it's a 32,950, like, so it's quite expensive for a Golf, even though it's worth that relative to market, like. So we're always like, we'd like to go as new as we can, but at the end of the day, the market and a lot of our customers want cars that are a bit more affordable as well. Like, we're not a premium garage. We offer premium service,
and we do premium cars. We
do premium cars, but like, that's not our real end of the market, so to speak. Anything else that has been selling well?
Anything else selling well? No, you touched on the Camrys.
Do you know what absolutely has died? McGann's. We've 2 of them in
stock.
Hey,
we sold our Kodiaq.
We did. We sold our
That was mentioned, Kodiaq. I think, a few times.
That was the weirdest one ever. Oh my god, people are sick of listening to me about that. Kodiaq Sportlines were like the hottest property in town. And we bought this one and paid absolutely London for it. London is big. Really London big. For it. And the customer wasn't going to sell it for like 2 or 3 weeks. We never do this. This is how much we wanted at the time. It was the worst shout ever. And we actually paid him a deposit to hold on to it for 2 or 3 weeks. That's how we'd never do that. And we were so confident we'd get 45 grand for this car. We ended up selling it for like whatever, 39 or whatever, 4 grand less anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was a bad shout. At Golf Estates, we have a few of the CHRs. They're tipping, but like, I think that the CHRs, we've realised that they all need to be dropped in price, and they'll sell at a lower price.
Actually, 320i's.
Yeah, 320i's. We've got a few of them in, and they
all sold within a week. Like, was it with it? Yeah,
it was. Now the G20 ones, the VRT is scandalous on them, so I'm not buying the newer model ones. But the slightly older,
just to put it out there,
ones, yeah,
8 grand for a 19 one.
It was 8.5 even.
8.5
on a 19 reg one. Yeah, petrol 320i. So like, there's not much money in them for us selling them. And we always put kits and wheels on them as well. Like, when you add in all the VRT and all the taxes and all the prep costs and wheels and all that, like, there's not really. But some of the older ones, they were decent enough deals. So they were nice, and they seem to be doing quite well. But yeah, other than that, like, I suppose there was a few kind of surprise entries. The Mark 8 Golfs, I would have said, was a kind of a surprise one, because we had that estate in stock for a long time, the Mark 8 one.
Yeah.
The 320i's, I was wondering, would they sell? They'd proven to be good sellers. And what I have a good few en route now that I haven't had before is petrol A4s, and I've one here at the moment. I've one 2 litre TSI S-Line 172 reg one, and I have a good few 1.4s en route. I think the 1.4s might be a little bit better seller, because people might be a bit cautious of a 2 litre TFSI in terms of fuel economy and all that.
I suppose your tax is cheaper, your insurance be slightly cheaper.
So I have a good few of them. So, sometimes I do a roll of the dice, and I sometimes stuff you haven't had in before actually proves out to be good sellers because it's kind of a novelty, because you unlock a new portion of the market. They're like, oh, I love it. You see, petrol Beamers knock, I wouldn't buy them. If you ever get any petrol Audis in, and you suddenly unlock a new area of the market, and more often than not, well, it's 50-50. Sometimes it works. But look, at the end of the day, a low mileage Audi, be it petrol or diesel, is always going to sell.
It is. Yeah.
So there's a few of the ones that have done well. So again, we've nice, great amount of stock at the moment. Yeah, we've nearly too much stuff at the moment, and a lot of stuff landing, but tis all good. In terms of other areas of the business as well, people might notice as well, we've a lot more active on social media. Evelina, who's behind the camera, she started with us in September doing marketing and content creation. So she's
a lot better than I am at it.
She's a lot better than Paul at doing it, and so she's doing great so far. So thank you very much. But also it's just we're much more regular in the content we're putting out. Like I don't know, we surely have 10 TikToks per week now going out, I'd say. Possibly more, but definitely 10 a week. We mightn't post anything for a week, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it was just so ad hoc. So like our views for Q, and bear in mind now she only started September, but our views were up by 300,000 on Q3 compared to Q2. Profile views were up by 6,000 in that time frame. Again, she was only in for the last month of the quarter. Likes were up by 10,000. So like all metrics are really good. What we started doing as well is I do still want to do the podcast, but just again, a few guests let me down, or a few guests didn't want to come on, or and I've been busy as well. I haven't put in massive effort into getting lads, but we did the YouTube videos. The one we put out there on Sunday is like over 6,000 views, which is really good for YouTube. In 2 days, so that's going well. And the YouTube will take off a lot.
I think those videos will do quite well, even compared to the podcast. People just love kind of getting behind the curtain.
Yeah, I think we're doing every second week we're doing a kind of a week in the life, and I think people are enjoying them. I'm giving my opinion on certain areas of the motor trade or different types of cars. But again, maybe some people will like them. I'll do a bit talks about business and all that kind of thing. So I'm seeing where it goes. Where I'm interested to do as well is, like, obviously I'm I'm opening obviously a new garage in Cork, which is kind of half out in the open yet. It'll be fully out in the open in a week or two. We're actually I signed the lease. I signed the lease yesterday. I can tell that. It'll be properly. Yeah, it'll probably in the coming days now. It'll be properly out and open, and it'll be all. But
it's a savage setup.
It's a savage setup. And we'll do a big reveal in a couple of days. I'm not sure what day this is going to go. Probably next day or two. Anyway, this is Tuesday as we're talking. Tuesday the 14th. So I really want to showcase that on YouTube and social media to really get the new business off the ground as well. So that's kind of half the reason. One, we got Evelina on board, and also I wanted to get the YouTube channel built up a bit so that I would have a reasonably decent following. Same with the TikTok as well. Like, but I want everything flowing at full capacity to also get the new business off the ground while keeping this business going as strong as possible.
Definitely,
so busy. It'll be a busy couple of months ahead for me. But very exciting. So some people were watching my Instagrams or TikToks, and they saw how the yard was so full and we're overflowing with cars. It's because I was buying cars with 2 garages. I just wasn't telling people.
It wasn't fun.
No, there was way too many cars. I think we've about one. Even still, like, we're delivering away cars. We're still like 140 on the ground here. Like, that's too many. I know
we've another 44 or something coming in the next 2 weeks.
It's, there's a lot there, and there's a lot of even just even paperwork, and even just organised. We get kits and allies and a lot of things. There's a lot of just, and tinted windows and all that. There's a lot of just logistical things like that you wouldn't think of, isn't there?
I think the most annoying part is it doesn't matter what car you put in the bottom of the yard, that's the car you'll need next.
Oh yeah. So I wouldn't like to. I think the sweet spot for what number of cars we have in stock is like 70 or 80 ready to go here. Like, I think for everything, and I'm happy with like us selling 45-50 retail a month, trading off a few others and everything, and everything runs quite well. The workshop, people keep on top of it. Admin, it's not too much of a mess. You don't have crazy amounts of customers.
It gets messy once you go over 100.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, even just like batteries will start going dead, and just you won't get on top of it. I think when you've mad numbers of cars in stock as well, you're stop being as picky of what you stock, and you just start buying yokes for the sake of them because you have so many. I was like, oh jeez, I forgot about that yoke, and you really have to manage the stock a lot more than you would when you have like 70 or 80.
And we always drive cars just to keep them going. And
absolutely. Because there's only a limited amount of time you can be driving cars and everything like that. So that's I've toyed with the idea of more stock, and even for my new venture in Cork, like it's going to be similar. Like it's going to be probably less at the start, but like it's going to be like I've no matter how busy here or any other garage gets, I have no appetite whatsoever in being one of those garages that sells or that stocks 200-300 cars and all that. I think just keep the numbers nice and tight, keep the stock and good stock. Like I always use the term, like the Dublin DJs, belters only. The best stuff that you want, no filler stock, stuff that's good money in, great sellers. Trade off what you don't want, and don't be just buying yokes for the sake of buying them. And I think that generally works better as a business than trying to just chase these massive vanity metrics of turnover and numbers of cars in stock or number of units you sell and all that, because a lot of it is actual vanity.
It is, because if you're stocking 300 cars, there's not good money in every one.
No, there can't be, like, so that's my thoughts on it. Look, obviously that works for some people and more power to them, like, but I like a kind of a slightly, it's me saying a smaller setup. We have a pretty big setup, but like, not a mental sized one. Other than that, things have been going pretty good. The workshop is always busy. Retail side of business, servicing and all that, like that is constantly growing. Like we're barely keeping on top of the demand we get for like retail service work and all that. So it's always trying to find the balance between getting our cars prepped and warranty and like there's so many curveballs that happened in a workshop as well, like, you know what I mean, like all of a sudden the week could be looking fairly quiet and then you get 4 calls on a Monday morning from good customers. Oh, my clutch has gone in my car, I'm stuck for it. Any chance you could look at it in the next day or two, or a warranty one you don't expect, and all of a sudden your week is absolutely upended, and that happens regularly. And obviously regular customers at the workshop, obviously they don't want to be told, no, we can't do that for a month, so you have to try and fit everyone in. So yeah, like you'd never have enough time. I'm looking for another mechanic at the moment. If anyone's listening, I have put the feelers out there on social media. I know it's tough to get mechanics, and I have 5 of them at the moment, including one apprentice. So look, I know I have a fair few here, and I know I'm robbing them of another place. But if you are a qualified or 3rd or 4th year apprentice and you would like to come work for me, I would like to talk to you.
Pretty good place to work.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks. So look, again, we're not the only garage looking for mechanics. There's nothing new there. But if you are looking, give me a shout. So look, a good complaint. I've given up saying like no more staff, like, because every time I say no more staff, I end up having to take on more anyway. So you're either going backwards or you're going forwards, and sure, I don't want to go backwards at all. So we move onwards. Anything else so we'll wrap up with this then. Anything else you want to go through?
There is no. I don't think so. How do you feel next quarter is going to? It's a sticky one with
with Cork.
With Cork,
yeah. This month we carried over 15 or 16 sales that were sold last month. We weren't going to be delivered till this month for a variety of reasons. This is now the 14th, and I think we have 37 cars on the board, which is very good. So I think this month will be really good. I think next month will be pretty solid, and in December it will be relatively quiet as per usual. I'll have a busy month personally because I'll be trying to launch another business, trying to keep this place going, at full tilt as well. And like obviously with Cork, and trying to manage getting everything all up and running at once, because when people will see when we're up and running, which is going to be pretty soon, everything has been, a lot of stuff been done behind closed doors that when we do open, it'll be, when we do get the place, which is going to be soon, it's going to be open pretty soon, and people are going to be impressed at how big a setup it is pretty soon. So but just try and start at the level we're going to start at, I suppose, is challenging. But I am very, very, very much looking forward to it, and John, as my business partner for Cork, is that 2 of us are absolutely buzzing, and we're going to give it a right old rattle now. So stay tuned. That's it, lads. That's our Q3 business summary. Thanks to everyone for all the support on social media, all the people that have bought cars off us. Even if you talk shit about me on TikTok,
it all helps.
It all helps with the algorithm. But listen, on a serious note, thanks for everyone. I couldn't be happier at how things are going overall. So thank you.